chamber of the cathedral there, they're denigrating Joe Biden, making him sit around the leaders of third world countries. Like, it's weird. At all than anyone else on this planet. And Donald Trump was so proud of this tweet. He tweeted this at right here. In real estate, like in politics and in life, location is everything. I don't know why real estate is capitalized. I don't know why politics is capitalized or why life is capitalized. Other than the fact that Donald Trump is a colossal and dumb who doesn't have a grasp of his native tongue, English. He does not have proficiency or literacy at a level that he should, being a 75, 76, 78-year-old man, whatever it is. And then, this is what I want to share with you about this. Because one, it's bigoted, it's hateful, it's on brand, their words, and they communicate by me. Here's a video. There is some words here, so this is different. Here we go. My president. There's no commentary. We agree. You wouldn't be sat there. Oh, yeah, third world countries. We're bigots. We hate them. None of that. It's just my president with the seal of the presidency. This is a Fox News thing. They will never get me to stop fighting for you, the American people. America will start winning again, winning like never before. He was right about everything. Re-elect 45. Here's a picture when Donald Trump was trying to act like a tough guy when he was in Walter Reed getting his COVID treatment. And of course, 1776 saying something to the Queen who just died. We kneel to God alone. You're noticing here, there's no commentary on what he said. These dum-dums cannot communicate with their words. You can only go find on the internet a meme somebody made and share that. That's how it is. Trump stood up for America every time he violated the scripture of political correctness. The scripture of political correctness, people. Political correctness is another word for saying not being an asshole, not being a bigot, not being a racist. If that's what they call politically correct, count me in. In 2022, President Trump is more popular than ever getting out the vote. Donald Trump failed in 2020 to get out the vote. He lost by over 7 million votes to Joe Biden. But these dum-dums say he is more popular than ever in the midst of an Espionage Act violation scandal, in the midst of obstruction of justice and election interference, in the midst of inciting a mob to attack the Capitol building. That's where their head's at, though. He's more popular than ever. Joe Biden raising demons to attack the American people before the 2022 midterm versus Donald Trump raising the American people to vote in the 2022. I mean, look, it's just meme after meme after meme after meme nonsense. And it's on both posts. It's not just this one. It's not just this one. I'll go back to the one where he said, like in real estate, location's everything. Hated by the deep state, hated by Washington, hated by the media, loved by the American people. Oh, here's a Q post. Oh, cute. Oh, cute's a Q post. More. Oh, look at this. More. Oh, more memes. All you're going to see. Nonsense. Anyway, I just wanted to share this because it tells you where Donald Trump's head's at. It is still whipping up the base, still generating the meme content, but nothing to do with actually making America better. Not proposing policies that will better your life than mine. His vision, culture war, vision, hate. That's all it's about. Anyway, I'd love to know. Call, give me a free voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@thalmor.com. Follow me on social media. I'm at
The music theory secrets of Chrome Canyon were hidden in the title all along. This name wasn't just selected for the technology theme or for the alphabetical stage. Self-made is a nice idea. It suggests that anybody can claw their way to the top if they really work hard enough. It's what made is all about. Highly generative, self-made creator at age 21. Welcome you and I. Even as wages stay stagnant. Welcoming Tony Rose. It's comfort to think we're all simply one cosmetics company and some thalmor freaks away for you. Origins of self-made millionaires often depicted as rise to the top and by nothing better than personal limits and courage to take risks, like dropping out of college and starting a business in Iran. But in reality, the origins of many millionaires are so humble, more like riches, even more riches stories rooted in upward Elon Musk, a wealthy valley home, emerald mine that in South Africa. Jeff Bezos' garage race started, funded by $250 million investment in his parents. With your safety net, 20 millionaire class, made it upper class, it's not pulling yourself up by your strings, nor is failing to pay your fair share of taxes along with Musk and Bezos, like Bloomberg, George Soros, and Carl Icahn have all gotten away with zero federal income tax subsidies. What's a big helping hand to see the legal loopholes and American taxpayers up tab, all while our tax dollars subsidize corporations owned by these so-called self-reliant entrepreneurs. Other common ways that millionaires build their confidence on the backs of others and with garbage wages. But portraying themselves as rugged individuals who overcame poverty or did it on their own remains a comprehension. One that teaches workers were rising up collectively to demand fair wages, and one that ultimately distracts from the role that millionaires play in fostering poverty in the first place. Millionaires say their success proves they can spend money more wisely and efficiently than the government. If they have no problem with government spending, this is corporate taxation. When arguing for even more time and ways, things power the government takes from them.
A group of MAGA chuds who go by the 1776 Restoration Movement are so concerned about the well-being of seditioners and January 6th rioters who are currently behind bars awaiting trial that they've decided to retaliate against veterans who are suffering from various crises, including thoughts of suicide, to make their point. Now, what have they done? Well, according to a Daily Beast reporter, members of the 1776 Restoration Movement were back in Washington, D.C. this morning, and part of their activities included flooding the veteran suicide hotline with bogus calls urging the D.C. jail to release January 6th rioters. And by the way, this comes just 2 months after the Office of Veterans Affairs made their Veterans Crisis line even easier to remember and contact, which is an important thing to do considering the prevalence of suicide among veterans. In fact, in 2020 alone, 6,146 veterans committed suicide. And so this is not a laughing matter.
here. You're police. I know I ran ahead of the ball. Don't let it get me! Help! Don't let it get me! Help!
Now, of course, he provides
Keep it away from me!
that they're being mistreated. They're behind bars.
Get it away from me! Get it away!
People who are charged with sedition, who have serious charges against them. And look, and by the way, there's absolutely no evidence that these are veterans. 100 of them are veterans who are being denied VA benefits while they're behind bars.
You, over here.
Well. And look, if they are being
You did it. You killed it. Now cut me down before anything else shows up. Yes, the claw. I know how it works. The claw, the markings, the door, and the hall of storage. I know how they all fit together. Help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power the Nords have hidden there.
Very prevalent. It's just disgusting.
Does it look like I can move? You have to cut me down first.
I thought that there was some percentage chance this was actually
Get out of here!
that.
It's coming loose. I can feel it. You fool. Why should I? What was that?
But the most correct thing, there aren't they're just floating in space. They're like Sandra Bullock in that movie. Floating through space. Like, with the dumbest idea, what are you guys doing? Why would you think about the veterans? And what does that have to do with your particular pet peeve about the guys detained in a normal jail that has nothing to do with veterans? Why would you call the suicide hotline? What a weird and terrible idea. I just can't get over how it might be the worst idea I've ever seen. I mean, sometimes our side does damage to itself with bad ideas and bad framing. Okay? Boy, it doesn't.
Of the American people, tens of millions of Americans who cast their ballots in favor of Joe Biden. What we saw on January 6th was the largest meltdown by supporters of Donald Trump over not getting their way, over an election not going the way that they wanted to go. And they decided to retaliate by engaging in tremendous violence. I mean, we've seen video after video, image after image. So it seems as though this is what they're doing. The people behind bars right now facing charges for sedition, they're not bad guys. They're just political prisoners in the DC gulag. That's what they think. But Jay, to make matters worse, there are veterans who tried to get through that crisis hotline and weren't able to do so because the lines were clogged up with all sorts of MAGA chuds who were trying to make their little political point, right? So I want to give you one example. There's Christine, who's photographic boy. Christine, an Army veteran in Oregon who asked to be identified only by her first name, told Coffee or Die magazine that she was unable to get through to the crisis line despite calling 4 or 5 times on the webcast. She had been experiencing a mental health crisis over the weekend that had kept her from sleeping, she said. And felt that the only thing I have left is the crisis line. Unable to reach anyone on the line, she said she was setting things up for an attempt at self-harm. When she learned about the crisis line's done, I said, oh my God, are you serious? So that kind of stopped me on my process for setting things up, she said. I said, hell no, they're not going to take my life. I'm not going to let them win. And thank God she was privy to what was actually going on and why she was unable to get through. But if she didn't learn about what they were doing and why she was essentially blocked from being able to talk to someone when she needed help, who knows what could have happened? A life could have been lost as a result of this disgusting stunt. And by the way, it doesn't matter for them. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about protecting people's lives. It's not about protecting people from cruel and unusual punishment. It's all about their sense of entitlement to essentially take over the country, take over elections, and get what they want at any and all times. And here they are bragging about what they had done after the fact. Let's watch.
Going on right now, only at Fayetteville. It's our upgraded city.
That's pretty big. So the trolls, they took the thing. Thanks for helping us.
that's the bait. What's the bait? Talking about the fact that you block veterans from being able to call a crisis hotline and call a meet. That's the bait. These people are pathetic. How are we supposed to have a conversation with them?
Yeah.
They think they're freaking patriots in American
Exactly the same guy is the one that said they called the hotline. Later, when pressed on it, he said, well, no, we said at different times that, you know, you should all call once. I mean, I don't want you to be wondering. And then he turns around and goes, he's like, that was our plan. And you guys took the bait. Well, which one is it? Again, logic doesn't apply the right way, so there's no way to talk about it. And guys, just so you understand, like, there's a fundamental misunderstanding about the word America. Because to the left wing, he's something, and to the right wing, he's something. For the left wing, it's a democracy based on the United States Constitution, and all things that are that Constitution is set now, public is set. The right wing is like me, I'm white right-wingers, or America. Everything else is not America.
No, but that's literally what they think, Jay.
I know.
mean, they named themselves after 1776. Why? Because they want the days of white landowners being the only white male landowners. To be clear, being the only individuals who have the right to vote.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days, you know, when we didn't have any democracy, real democracy.
But they,
Great.
But they think that that's inconsistent with the American first. He first. And so that's the right mentality. So when you talk to them, understand that they don't mean the same things that you do. People use common words like America and Constitution.
A group of MAGA chuds who go by the 1776 Restoration Movement are so concerned about the well-being of seditioners and January 6th rioters who are currently behind bars awaiting trial that they've decided to retaliate. Against veterans who are suffering from very
So, because not everybody watches every video that I do, I wanted to get this message in every video that I do today. That is the thing. Yesterday, I announced my cancer diagnosis, and I did a video about it. I'm not going to go through all the details. I did a video entitled I Have Cancer, so if you haven't heard, and this is the first you're hearing, you can watch that video that I put out yesterday and talk about it. But I just wanted to thank the overwhelming groundswell of support that appeared both on Twitter, but absolutely on that video. Absolutely, my spirits was very meaningful, and I want to appreciate your support. I want to tell you that I appreciate your support because I've got some tenuous times ahead the following weeks relative to surgery and possible chemotherapy. We'll know all of these details, and I'll keep you involved. But you know, positive attitude goes a long way for healing and helping. Story, not quite as heartwarming. Migrant trafficking by Ron DeSantis. The kidnapping of dozens of individuals, human beings, who were lied to Now, there's a clip of Ron DeSantis who's going to say that there will be signed documents and lie to you under false pretenses. You can't consent. Here's Ron DeSantis on with him explaining his side of the story. Now he's scrambling a little bit.
They were fed, they were showered, they were offered haircuts, and any other services they were needing, correct?
Yeah, not only that, they all signed consent forms to go, and then the vendor that is doing this for Florida provided them with a packet that had a map of Martha's Vineyard. It had the numbers for different services on Martha's Vineyard, and then it had numbers for the overall agencies that handle things involving immigration and refugees. So it was clearly voluntary, and all the other nonsense you're hearing is just not true. And
now, everything is wrong there. First of all, just let's talk about the general idea that they're trying to put across the haircuts. They care so deeply about the lives of these Venezuelans.
Over here.
Scared them off.
Lies. Clear lies. You don't have to look far or dig deep to realize that Ron DeSantis is a liar and a human rights violator. Because if you were going to be doing something positive for people, why would you have to lie to them? Get them on a plane. Also, he's up to his tricks. John Legum, fantastic journalist, has a great newsletter called Popular Information on Substack. You should check it out. He tweeted this: one of the planes used in DeSantis' Martha Stewart stunt is currently scheduled to travel tomorrow from San Antonio to Florida to a small airport near Biden's house in Delaware. And here's some flight plans. Here's a photo of some flight plans. This is all political theater. With just a little taste of human trafficking and kidnapping. Here's a brochure. Here's the brochure that was given to these people. It's fake. They were dropped off, and the community had to rally and take care of these people. That clothing that took care of them. The narrative that you read on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, was something completely opposite. They were out of control. We can't have this. We are just rich white people. Which may be the case, sir. That's not how they behave. They stepped up. When these people dropped off, there was no resources. There was no warning. And there is a legal group right now, get the name of it right, Lawyers for Civil Rights, seeking a criminal investigation into this. Luckily enough, there are people in this country who do care about justice. This is tweeted from the Bear. I've been told this is pronounced Bear. The Bear County Sheriff's Office tweeted this. The Bear County Sheriff's Office has opened an investigation into the migrants that were lured from the Migrant Resource Center located in Bear County, Texas, and moved to Florida, where they were ultimately left to fend for themselves and others. Additionally, they're working with private attorneys representing victims, as well as advocacy organizations. Regarding this incident, we are also preparing to work with any federal agencies that have concurrent jurisdiction should the need arise. A criminal investigation has been opened, and I am hopeful. I hope, let's not say I'm hopeful, but I hope that the federal authorities will get involved. Because by any account, by any measure, by any metric, this was kidnapping on a mass scale. If you or I were to round up a bunch of people, get them on a plane under false pretenses, and drop them off thousands of miles from their origin spot, that's kidnapping. They didn't consent. Anyway, it's not just tweets. Here's a video. Javier Salazar, Sheriff of Bexar County, talking about this very investigation.
Need a ride? I can take you to any of the hole. Where do you want to go?
Investigation with regard to the suspected
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
48 migrants from Venezuela that,
Couldn't
as
ask
we
for better
understand it
weather.
at this point, in fact, at this point, are that on Wednesday, September 14th, here in Bexar County, in the city of San Antonio, our understanding is that a Venezuelan migrant was paid what we call a bird dog fee to recruit approximately 50 migrants from the area around a migrant resource center here in San Antonio. As we understand it, 48 migrants were lured, I will use the word lured, under false pretenses into staying at a hotel for a couple of days.
I'm sorry, could you
They were
describe
taken by airplane. At a certain point, they were shuttled to an airplane.
Inside out, and
Where
then
they
Unless
were
you're
flown
bringing me
to Florida,
another round, you
and
can
eventually
leave
flown to
the
Martha's
line.
Vineyard, again under false pretenses.
I've already corrected it for future experiments.
That they were promised
This-
work, they were promised.
this is why
several
people have a
colleges.
problem with your college.
They were
now.
taken to Martha's Vineyard.
Let me know if you
from
want.
From what we can gather,
I think I got a clean
for
mug
nothing-
around here
for
somewhere.
a little more than a photo op, video
If
op,
there's anything you need,
and then they
just
were
let me know.
unceremoniously stranded in Martha's
Take a
Vineyard.
look.
What infuriates me the most about this case is that here we have 48 people that are already on hard times, right? They are here legally in our country. They have every right to be where they are. And I believe that they were preyed upon. Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of a better life, which is what they were absolutely for. Knowledge that they were going to cling to whatever hope they could offer for a better life. To just be exploited and into making this trip to Florida and then onward to Martha's Vineyard. What I believe to be nothing more than politics.
Next time. If you've business with the college, you're welcome to stay here. It's where most of our...
Federal government got involved, and they should. They cannot sit by while kidnapping, human trafficking takes place. The same political party that will save the children, the QAnon conspiracy theorists within the party talking about child trafficking and human trafficking, and then they, on full display on national TV, traffic humans, kidnap
I'm
them.
telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
This lawlessness cannot stand. Who are we
Out with it.
as a people? This isn't even a commentary on immigration and the state
Let me
of the
guess.
border.
Someone stole your sweet roll.
This is human decency. These are human rights issues that we're talking about. Might not like that they got here and they entered the country, but they did. Also, being in the country,
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry.
it's a crime to cross the border without your
I am here to assist those seeking the wisdom of the past. And if, in the process, my presence helps to deter those who might seek to do harm, so be it.
is the punishment.
The more important question is, why are you
Cross the
here?
border against the laws of the United States.
Perhaps. But what is it you expect to find within?
In the world of Gavin and Ron DeSantis,
I see. That power certainly exists, I assure you. Wield it faithfully, and few can withstand. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college?
it's not my
Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill with magic.
voicemail 714
A small test, if you will.
Donald,
Excellent. The flame Atronach is a vital companion for anyone relying on conjuration. Some... No? Will it... Or you can try your luck with one of the court wizards around Sky. Here you are. Now, anxious to see you cast it.
Donald Trump's lawyers do not want to
Whoa now.
disclose
Ease off on the magic.
documents he had taken from the White House that
Well done indeed. Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college. Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please, follow me. No matter what, the college will endure. Take a look.
He got what he wanted. Special master's there. He's reviewing the documents, but he had a request that Trump's lawyers didn't like because if they fulfill that request, it might indicate that Trump engaged in criminality. So, let me give you the details. Trump's legal team objected to what it said was Judge Raymond J. Deary's request that it disclose specific information regarding declassification to the court and to the government. Now, if you do that, you can't just lie, right? You're submitting documents, you're submitting statements to the court. You have to tell the truth. And the truth is, Trump didn't declassify anything. And so Trump's lawyers expressed concern, Jim, that Deary posed questions about the documents that the judge who appointed Deary has left unasked, arguing that Trump might be left at a legal disadvantage if he answered them at this stage of the process. The whole point of the special master was to delay the investigation, and that's working for now. But they didn't expect Deary to ask Trump, or his attorneys more importantly, to, provide some information in regard to what he allegedly declassified.
Now, this is spectacular. So the special master is blowing up in Trump's face. So when Judge Deary was immediately picked and agreed to by both sides, Republicans and Trump, I said, well, somebody's making a mistake. Okay? And Democrats and bureaucrats have been totally incompetent in pursuing Trump. So I thought, they could be making a mistake easily. I'd be like, oh, sure, let's do it any right-wing judge who cares.
I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge.
So I'm going to explain one thing that's crucial to this story.
Yes, okay, so, and there is an update to it that you might not have seen, but let me give you a few more details. So in Monday's filing, Trump's lawyers wrote that they don't want Deary to force Trump to fully and specifically disclose a defense to the merits of any subsequent indictment without such requirement being evident in the district court's order. A remarkable statement that acknowledges at least the possibility that the former president or his aides could be criminally charged. So, what is the response to Trump's team of lawyers from the special master, from Judge Deary? Well, he responded to them saying, quote, if the government gives me prima facie evidence that they are classified documents and you don't advance any claim of declassification, I'm left with a prima facie case of classified documents, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of it.
Yeah, okay, that's further devastation. So, first of all, whenever I want to get my wife hot, I say, and so that's one of the ones I remember most. She thinks that that's like, whoa. So, but don't make me into any upset. So, what it means, though, it's kind of...
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, I'm simply trying to understand the reasoning behind the decision.
You may be used to the Empire bowing to your every whim, but I'm afraid you'll find that thalmor receives no such treatment. You are a guest of the college, here at the pleasure of the Archmage. I hope you appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, the Archmage.
Very good. Then we're done here. Welcome to the college. Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately. Well, first you'll need these. While you're not required to wear them, you may find them more to your liking than your current clothes. I'll give you a brief tour, and then we'll get you to your first chance. Are you ready to begin?
Trump's lawyers are going, we don't shoot that now, because that might be one of our defenses if we get indicted. We don't know if it's one of our defenses. We didn't plan this out. Okay, as usual, slithering idiots. You walk right into that trap, but the thing is, it wasn't the Department of Justice that set the trap. It was you who set the Somebody steps here. Oh, step right into it.